Chapter 509 to 510 Wu Di's past. Bailey Chongqing brought Zhang Yi to the box on the 7th floor. From here, you can look down at the scene below and see the chaotic scene of fun in the bar. Here, you can also indulge your inner desires. Those fierce men, holding bottles of wine in their left hands and hugging the charming women in their right hands, do whatever they want under the dim lights. The blue lights are shining on the central stage, and 6 women in cool clothes are dancing there. The scene is erotic, and the desire is sinking. It's really lively, Zhang Yi commented with a smile. How about it, do you like it here? Hee, it's very difficult for you to go to such a place in Tianhai City to play. Zhang Yi glanced at him lightly and said lightly, Believe me, as long as I want, this kind of thing is very easy to do. Bailey Chongqing scratched his head helplessly. Well, I almost forgot that you are already the local emperor of Tianhai City. Zhang Yi sat on the sofa, lazily crossing his legs. Bailey Chongqing asked, What kind of wine do you like to drink? Zhang Yi shook his head. Forget about wine. Drinking will delay things. After all, you can rest in Blizzard City, and I came here to do something. Bailey Chongqing nodded. Okay then. What do you want to know from me? But let me make it clear first, there are some things I can tell you, but there are some things I can't tell you. Zhang Yi smiled faintly. Don't worry. What I'm asking is not a secret. He looked at Bailey Chongqing and said with a meaningful smile, You know, I'm not interested in coming to Blizzard City. I just want to confirm what we need to do for this gathering. Bailey Chongqing rubbed his hands. This matter is actually related to the death of Captain Bian. Hearing Bian Junwu, Zhang Yi couldn't help but be solemn. Bian Junwu did make a great contribution to the killing of Yuan Kongya. Bailey Chongqing said this is the first time that a captain-level figure has died. It has caused concern among the top leaders of the headquarters. If the headquarters continues to send troops out to perform missions in the future, there may be casualties among the top aliens. That's why we have to mobilize local forces to preserve the existing alien strength in Blizzard City. Of course, it is also to avoid internal friction and facilitate the management of the entire Jiangnan region. Zhang Yi had thought about what Bailey Chongqing said. But this was not what he was most concerned about. I want to know, will you conduct compulsory conscription? Zhang Yi's strength is first class in the entire Jiangnan region. This strength cannot be hidden forever. If the headquarters forces him to come here and become a member of the investigation team one day, Zhang Yi will not be happy. Bailey Chongqing was silent. He thought for a while and replied, I don't know about this either. But I can tell you that absorbing powerful forces from the surrounding areas is what we have been doing all along. Blizzard City has a permanent population of more than 1 million. Most of them are not locals. We have strict screening criteria for every resident. If the contribution is not enough, they will be expelled. And if we find very capable people in the outside world, we will also absorb them. That's why even a strong alien like Captain Bian has to work hard to complete tasks. Because he has a family, and if he wants to maintain a high standard of living for his family, he must continue to complete tasks to earn points. When it comes to points, Bailey Chongqing explained to Zhang Yi. Here, money is useless, and even jewelry and gold and silver are scrap copper and rotten iron. Only points are the universal currency. Zhang Yi took a sip of hot water, looked at Bailey Chongqing and asked leisurely, so that means that the Jiangnan district is likely to select some members to join the investigation team of the headquarters in this large-scale recruitment, right? It's hard to say about this, Bailey Chongqing said with a smile. At least for an outstanding alien like you, I'm afraid the top management will try their best to keep you. Facing Bailey Chongqing's ridicule, Zhang Yi smiled and said, But if I come, it will be hard to explain your matter. In the task report of killing Yuan Kongya, Zhang Yi was marginalized. But Zhang Yi showed his strength, and Bailey Chongqing couldn't explain it to Zhu Zheng. Sure enough, Bailey Chongqing's face was slightly uncomfortable. Don't worry, I told the commander about your problem. Although your strength is not bad, your loyalty is not high enough, and joining the region may become an unstable factor. This is what the commander fears most. As long as you don't perform too well, he won't force you to stay. Zhang Yi was a little relieved. That's naturally the best. While the two were talking, the waitress rang the doorbell. Mr. Bailey, someone is looking for you. It's Mr. Wu Di from the Black Robe team. Zhang Yi frowned slightly when he heard the name. Wu Di's attitude towards him has always been not very good, and there is an inexplicable hostility. So Zhang Yi didn't like that person very much. Why is he here? Bailey Chongqing explained. Sure, Dao said. Members of our team often come here to drink. After all, you know that members of the investigation team like us who are fighting on the front line are all on the verge of life and death. So, they will indulge in pleasure when they have free time. But I don't want to see him, Zhang Yi said lightly. Bailey Chongqing suddenly realized, and he slapped his forehead. Yes, he was always targeting you at that time. But now I am the captain of the Black Robe team. In order to prevent you and my team members from having a gap, there is something I must explain to you. It's about Wu Di. Zhang Yi leaned on the sofa, tilted his head and looked at him, waiting for his explanation. Bailey Chongqing's eyes were a little nostalgic, and he told the story slowly. It turned out that Wu Di was not a member of Blizzard City before. He was picked up by Bian Junwu during a mission. At that time, Wu Di was just a small employee in a company unknown. He struggled hard to survive in the end of the world. When he was on the verge of death, it was Bian Junwu who saved him, and he also accidentally awakened his special ability that time. Since then, Wu Di has been following Bian Junwu. In Wu Di's eyes, Bian Junwu is his savior and his mentor on the road to supernatural powers. He is like a father. The reason why Wu Di is hostile to you is not against you personally. It is anyone who may replace Captain Bian's position. Because of Captain Bian's hidden injury, he may die at any time. And the joining of new team members is based on the withdrawal of old team members. So, when Captain Bian shows his appreciation for you, it means that he realizes that he will not live long. Wu Di can't accept this. This is a kind of paranoia in his heart. Maybe he thinks that Captain Bian will not die before he can find a new team member. This chapter ends here. Please like and subscribe to get more future content.